highs too. In fact, the Nifty is at around 12,085, inching towards that mark of 12,100. Of course, the 12,000 mark, not only on a psychological level, but even on a technical basis, a lot of analysts were looking at the 12,000 mark as an important one, and the Nifty being able to sustain there and above that mark. Do remember that your maximum put concentration is also around the 12,000 level. That is a 12,000 strike price put for this particular month, and that's exactly where we're going to watch out for, because again, a crucial one, and again, not necessarily only on a psychological level. On that note, let's get in our technical experts. We have Manav Chopra of Indiabulls Ventures, who's joining us right now. Manav, good afternoon. Thanks for joining in. What's the view here on? Should we see the Nifty sustain at these levels? How would you address the benchmarks from here on?
See, we have already seen a very good amount of a rally from its important support, at least on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, and particularly the move that we witnessed yesterday was mainly led by a good amount of short covering. There was aggressive we had witnessed aggressive call writing on the day of the budget, and there was strong unwinding that was witnessed yesterday. Though the markets have yesterday managed to close at the high points, and today we have seen that follow-on move. I sense the bears are arrested, and going forward, the Nifty would form a very strong base at 11,800 for a medium-term to short-term basis. For the near term, we are expecting the targets of 12,150, which is likely to be achieved. So I sense any rally towards 12,100 to 12,200 should be a good level to book short-term profits. On the lower side, we do maintain a buy on dips approach. Specifically, we have also seen a good amount of rally coming from the broader markets, the mid caps and the small caps. So I think it's for a short-term gains, it's also a good strategy to maintain your picks, at least from the mid cap space.
So stay put with your position in the mid-cap space is something which Manav is advising. Can we just pull up the Nifty futures before we get to individual stock ideas from Manav's side? There you go. I just wanted, we were highlighting this when we started the show and we did our F&O check. The futures were trading at a discount for the fourth day, I believe, and the discount intraday had gone to as much as 25 points, and then it had narrowed to 5 or 6 points just, I guess, 20 minutes back, and now Nifty futures have turned into a premium. Actually, this is a positive sign considering the rebound was so sharp today as well as yesterday, but the futures continue to trade at a discount, which was telling you that there was no unwinding of short positions which was taking a place, which could have led to a short squeeze, and that's exactly how it's playing out, as the Nifty futures now have moved into a premium of about 2 points. Having said that, Manav, in terms of individual stocks then, what are you betting on?
Yes, so I have two buy calls. My first call is buy on Chola Finance. In fact, this stock has seen a good amount of a breakout today, or at least on the daily charts, and since quite some time, the stocks was in a strong uptrend, and since there is a breakout today with volumes, I sense this momentum rally is likely to see a strong legs on the upside. In fact, the volumes also are confirming a very sharp breakout as it's trading up its 50-day average volumes. On the lower side, it's a buy with a stop loss of 335, maintain a buy on its approach for an upside target of 365. My second buy call will be on Aegis Logistics. In fact, this segment too has seen a good amount of a momentum rally, and today, since the prices are trading near its important all-time highs, and the prices too have seen a good breakout, at least on the weekly charts. I sense on the lower side, one can maintain a buy on this approach. From the medium-term perspective, we could expect a good momentum rally to be seen into the stock. A stop loss of 225 for an upside target of 275.
Okay, let's get in Richard Jain of Angel Broking as well, who that's the top NSE 500 loser, and it has lost out not necessarily because of weak revenues, but certainly because of weak operating margins, and that's the reason why that weakness is coming in. From 700 rupees per share trend above that, it's currently trading below 600, 588 to be precise. Manav, do you have a technical view here on Avanti Feeds? What would you like to see before you would want to buy into the stock again?
See, overall the stock has already seen a very good rally from its lows of 280 levels, and since then a very good bullish momentum towards the levels of 750. I sense we have to evaluate the structure post the gap down today, and going forward, in case the stock still manages to hold on and hold on to its important long-term support of 220 to 240. I still feel that the overall structure is still intact. Given a choice, if somebody who wants to buy this stock for a long-term basis, I think 540, 550 would be the important levels. And in case if the stock manages to hold on to that support level, it would provide a good risk-reward entry for long-term basis. For the short term, since the prices have breached the support, we could see a near-term weakness where 595 to 600 would act as a resistance. But I think looking for the overall structure basis, one should look only on the dips to initiate long-term positions at the lower levels.
Okay, that's Avanti Feeds. I guess the rub-off impact, at least in the morning session, was seen for other shrimp players as well, be it Apex Frozen Food or, for that matter, Waterbase. They too had corrected in trade. Yes, Apex is down about 5%. Waterbase should also come up in your...
So that can be just one overhang, but barring that, it's at a very good valuation. Numbers are pretty encouraging, and from these levels, you'll see pickup only happening as far as the advances are concerned. So on fundamental, just operating parameters, Shriram Trans is a good price to enter into even after the increase that we've seen today in the price.
Let me just get a technical view here since the stock's been rallying in last two sessions. Manav, what's your reading on the charts for Shriram Transport? If somebody is holding long position, is it time to book profits or the stock is poised for further upside?
See, on a broader perspective, the prices are still in a sideways trading range, having support around the levels of 1050 and resistance at 1200. So it is still stuck in that range since past 2.5 months. The kind of a reversal that the stock has witnessed from its important supports and the momentum rally that we have seen, I sense on the immediate basis we could see rallies towards the levels of 1200 for short term. Yes, one can continue to hold their long positions. But the real big move or a trending move in the stock would actually unfold once if the stock exceeds 1200 levels, and post that we could see a series of up moves. So I sense at least for a medium term perspective, one can continue to hold long position with an anticipation for a break above 1200. The stop loss can be placed at 1080 on the lower side.
Okay, we also want to address Titan because what we saw yesterday was a lot of strength. Today there is a little bit of buying, but not as much. It's up around 0.5%. But the more important thing is that yesterday it, filled a gap which was made back in November of 2019. So that, of course, is the more important move, perhaps. Ruchit, now that that gap has been filled, where does Titan go from here on? How would you trade this one?
See, so that
Want to pull up Piramal Enterprises as well. It's done well over the past couple of days, but after seeing a very sharp decline before that, for now it's back above the mark of 1450. But the real question is, would you buy Piramal Enterprises at these levels, at least on a technical level? So let me get Ruchit in for his view on Piramal Enterprises. Ruchit, how would you trade this one?
frankly, it's very difficult to trade in this stock because of the volatility that the stock has shown in last few weeks. The stock was trading around 1400 at the start of Jan. From 1400 it rallied to 1700 and back towards 1350. So I think the risk is quite high in taking a fresh trade over here. I would suggest that in case if any existing long positions are there, then because 1300 is the support which was even seen in the month of October, then one should hold the existing longs with the stop loss, strict stop loss placed below 1300. But frankly, won't advise to create fresh longs over here.
Okay, I'm not advising to create fresh longs, and as Ruchit clearly highlighted, this has been a volatile counter. You did see a rebound yesterday, but I guess on Monday the stock had seen a correction of about 6 to 7%. Before I get a fundamental view on Piramal from Yogesh, Manav, come in on Tata Steel, considering the moves that we're seeing on these metal companies. A lot of these technical analysts have been betting on Tata Steel off late. Would you also bet on it? It's at 472 right now.
Surely, in fact, the prices have reached its falling trend line drawn from its recent peak, and we have seen a very strong rally recently. In fact, today the prices are also closing above its key important retracement level, which confirms for a short-term bottom in place. And looking at the update coming from the Chinese markets, I sense it will be quite positive for the metal space, at least for next couple of trading sessions. And one can also take Tata Steel as a BTST trade for tomorrow, having a stop loss at 460 on the lower side for an upside target of 490.
PTS.
Before we get in, move on with some updates within the coal sector, let's very quickly take a technical check on Z Entertainment as well, which is currently under pressure. Manav, your view on Z Entertainment based on what you're witnessing right now, how would you trade it, or you'd want to avoid it right now?
See, the overall structure for this stock has been very weak. In fact, the prices did also observe a very strong breakdown from its important weekly support levels, and this breakdown has accompanied by good amount of open interest, which confirms that there has been an aggressive short built up. Also, even at the current zone, there will be series of selling pressure witnessed into the stock, and the resistance would be at 230 to 235 range. So my sense is that one can continue to maintain a sell on rise approach, and on the lower side the prices are likely to retest its recent lows, so we maintain our lower targets of close to 210 and 205.
Okay, all right, let's move on. We have Coal India, which reported about a 7% jump in its coal offtake last month and the highest in this financial year. But